pull it back.
Welcome back to V8 Jake. I'm Jake, there's the V8. A few of you long-time watchers may remember this engine from a video I did of it a few years ago now. I've been sitting on this for a few years, much like this other engine. So here's how it went down. Enjoy. Once I started pulling down this motor, it was evident there was a few stuck bolts in this thing. One of them being the thermostat and the other one being in the timing cover. Looking here at these water pump bolts, you can see that they weren't too fresh. Jumping ahead, because no one wants to watch me clean an engine for a week, we're ready to paint. I ended up going with the Duplicolor GMH blue because it was a more correct shade of GMH blue. I ended up having to fix up the rocker covers as well. As you can see, they're fairly dented up, not dinted, they're dented. So I had to correct them before I went ahead with painting them. I ended up stripping all the paint off of these just because it was a lot easier than trying to feather out all those edges, and a lot more quicker, and it turned out a lot better. So there it is, all cleaned up. And yep, your eyes don't lie, I missed a dent in the rocker cover, but once it's in the engine bay you probably will never see it. I ended up getting the bolt out of the thermostat, it was super stuck in there. I didn't film it on that day just in case I loused it up and, you know, broke something, but the next day I did film it. Let's see if this works. So this is my stuck bolt. What I'm doing is trying to shock the thread in here, apply some heat. Might have to wiggle it back and forward. Very unhappy. Unstuck bolt out. As they say, you're not a real YouTuber unless you show yourself doing an oil change. Apparently I'm not a real YouTuber because I don't show the whole oil change. After half an oil change, I ended up ripping the timing cover off and stripping all the paint, and that unearthed a very sad looking timing chain. But we're going to pretend that's fine. I did clean out the bolt holes though, which were full of rust. After that I whipped the pan off, looked at the pistons and confirmed they're pistons. They're also ACL pistons. The oil pickup looked nice and clean, and it was time for the new pickup. I hate that. There you go. Alright, time for the distributor to go in. So I have marked this every way I can. Number one is here, which normally sits at about 1 o'clock like so. So I can take this cap off and it will sit where I want it to. I've timed the engine at about 6 degrees. As you can see, motor is at 6 degrees advanced. That's obviously 0, 2, 4, 6. So that should be good enough. I want to make sure that all this is out of the way so I can twist it however I need to. So I'm just going to rip the cap off, because where number one is, I don't have to worry about anything as long as number one lines up. Also going to take this bolt out because it looks shit painted. It only stayed in there because, you know, it's better than paint going in the thread hole. You can come out. Unfortunately, I've missed a bit painting there. Paper gaskets on. I know the car's at top dead center. I've still got a white paint mark there, so that's where I want him to end up. Making sure it goes down nicely. It's kind of not ideal because I want this. That's good enough. I can fix him up by just going like that. And that's him done. Now, as you can see from how tight it is in here, you want to leave it a little bit loose so you can set the timing a bit better. Now, this overspray isn't from me, it was from the previous person. Don't judge, I couldn't get it all off. Last thing. Time to put the cap on. I've lined him up. The distributor's lined up and done. But the air cleaner I am using is just a Pro Flow one because they're the cheapest. But nice chrome one. Stickers are from Stick This Decals. I try and buy them when I can. This is the only thing that's different. So this is a quick release. Goes like that. But unfortunately, I need to drill the lid open to fit this in. So this is zeroed out. So this is just under 19 mil. Step drill bit goes up to 20 mil. We're gonna send it home with that. It's the right thread. Hopefully I don't fucking destroy this thing, but I mean, possibilities there. Ah, fuck, there's a hot fucking shard burning me. So now that the engine's done, it's time to move on to the gearbox. And this is where things get massively out of hand. Look at them, absolutely gorgeous. That is why I clean up all my nuts and bolts and washers. Alright, so as you can tell, cleaning got massively out of hand and this thing looks sweet. I'm sure the ants will really enjoy looking at this underneath the car because once it's in the car I'll probably never look at it again. It actually shifts really nice now that I've cleaned all the linkages up. I mean, that's all with one finger. You will be able to tell that I haven't cleaned up the shifter as much as the gearbox. This is a 1-tonner shifter, as you can tell from this big bend here. That's to clear the bench seat. I'm gonna make my own shifter. I wasn't going to do this. I was actually going to use this, but I figured the amount of cleaning this needs and repairs, as you can see, this is a twin stick Speco shifter. This is all bent here, so, you know, to get that to the state of this, I mean, there's probably twice the amount of time, and I already spent days on this, so I'm gonna make my own shifter. This has snapped previously, and as you can tell, I mean, that's fairly straight and it's on a massive angle, so let's get into it. Now, I haven't actually figured out how I'm going to mount it here. I did think to cut an L out here and weld a nut here, and then I could bolt the shifter to the nut and have a grub screw, or I could just weld the whole shifter to it, or there's lots of ways to skin the cat with this one, but I haven't figured it out yet, so I'm just going to start at the top and work my way down and then figure it out when I get there. Now to turn this sheet of steel into this. Now, I wasn't really sold on this when I first drew it up, but now that it's cut out, I'm a lot more happier with it. The handle I intend to use is this guy. As you can see, that's what it will look like. This is from the Aerofly Bang shifter. I have this shifter in my white wagon. I've just stolen it from it so that I can have a template, obviously, but this is what I intend to use. I like these, and you can buy them separately for like 40 bucks, so that's him. Now what I do next is I need to cut out another one of these. This is 2mm sheet. It is, you know, fairly sturdy, but two of them together would make it 4mm, and it would make it, you know, a lot more durable. All right, so now that I've got my second piece kind of fitting up with this one, I'm going to throw a couple of tacks on it, just where it's butted up nice, so that when I take it off the G-clamp, it doesn't, you know, shuffle in place. All right, now that I've got some tacks on there, I can keep going along and tidying this up and then move on. We'll be back in a short commercial break. You know, if I was a wanker who's never done a good weld in their life, I'd leave that all exposed. So we're going to be leaving the welds exposed on this. So this is now at a stage where I can start thinking about attaching it to this. Now in here, this does join to the shifter, but it's kind of only half joined there. So what I'm going to do is weld it so it's got a nice bond to the shifter before I cut this off, because I don't want to cut it through here and have this pin drop out. That's not what I wanted at all. So this is what I was afraid of. So this top bit that you're seeing here that's hollow is the top of that pin there that selects the gears. So once I square this up, this right angle, left angle, I should really weld up this to make sure it's got a solid bond. Now to drill some holes to spot weld it to the shifter base, I should say. This is going to be welded to the shifter plate, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to nut and bolt it to the top here, so I need to drill some holes. So first off, I need to line them up like so. Here. Now I'll do it. This is probably the part of the video where I shit YouTube, or we'll go to a time lapse. Sweet. So, with this bolt, because it's so deep, the step drill bit is drilling this at a bigger hole so it can fit that squared out bit in there. But it fits in there really tight. I do plan on welding these to this, so it's all coming together. And here's what it looks like on here. As you can see, my fingers are completely in the way, but I can get a weld all along there, and I can spot weld him there. Double check on the shifter just before we weld, and it will hold it in place. And we are ready to mount this. I can't really clamp this to here, so I've left the handle on, and I'm just going to hold it as far away as I can from the heat, which is probably not going to be as far as I like because I've really got no control of it there, so I'm probably going to be trying not to burn myself. I'm just going to put in a couple of tacks, snap the welds. Ugh. Unfortunately, this is where it comes to an end with this 4-speed, with putting it into this VK. After some quick maths, I ended up figuring out that it was going to cost me around $2,000 to have it fitted in the car. So I ended up buying a Trimatic for $350 off of Facebook Marketplace that allegedly works. So we're just going to wing it with that. Is it still going down? Yeah. Now I can put the flex plate on, which I definitely did not already torque down Loctite. Yep. and have it ready to put the trans in. Oh, you idiot. You fucking idiot. As you saw there, that is one of the shortcomings of, you know, putting out videos and trying to do a different car every different month, couple of weeks, every couple of months, depends when I do it. Some videos I try and do bigger than others, but you know, when you bounce from car to car, you are bound to forget something somewhere. And I try and do as much preempting of all this stuff, writing notes and whatnot, but I guess I missed that one out. Anyway, I've Loctited these. They're torqued to 65 foot-pounds, and we're almost ready to, you know, bolt the trans up to it. Unfortunately, I was in for one of those days where nothing goes right. Well, it's all bolted up. Still got my adjustment dowels in there. That took probably 3 hours. These are a lot harder to mate up than a rear sumped one. But as you can see, I've got something under the front and something under the back. The engine still did tilt a bit, so that's why I had these in here. I was cradling at either side, and just imagine there's a hand here. I was just grabbing them and, you know, trying to twist the trans to go with the engine, and yeah, what a fucking nightmare. As you can see, got a bit to clean up now. Yeah. Now this side needs, come and have a look, come and have a look. It's sitting on the edge. My side's on, and that side's Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out, champions.